Welcome back. Issues at hand. We're doing the last leg of this. We just shared a little information here with Charles, and I'm laughing at his face, baffled kabisa. Charles, Bombo Barracks, one of the biggest in this country, I am told. I think after Simba in Mbeera and Kasajagirwa, Bombo must be one of the next biggest. Of course, outside the PGB one in Katavi as well. Now, there...
Then you have the Nubians.
Yes.
The Nubian community.
Yes, Bombo, in terms of rallies, if you were to measure just rallies outside the barracks, Brenda was doing beautifully well. But you also have a barracks. Can someone ascertain how many soldiers and families are in the barracks?
Yeah, the Marat Praia effect.
Because you have register, I suppose.
The Marat Praia, the barracks has a Marat Praia effect. Because the soldier has the other attendants.
A wife and possibly a child
yeah,
also.
And some relatives.
And
could also have visitors.
Then, the visitors wouldn't vote, I suppose.
Then around the soldier is also a ghost. Yeah, you heard about ghost
soldiers.
Ghost soldiers. For them that have that capability.
So a soldier can convert himself into a ghost.
Yeah, that's what the other thing you are telling me of Summit View producing 12,000 voters.
That is the election between Sebana Kizito and Waswaziri Twaula for the mayoral election, which Sebana Kizito won convincingly. But Summit View singly produced 12,000 votes. Of course, I haven't been to Summit View. I don't know how
you can't have 12,000 votes. If you want to know, then you go and look at the capability of the storage of their refuse. 12,000 just as voters. Forget about the children, those who are below the voting age. If you had 12,000 there, then how would you cater for?
They were then. They are not now.
The refuge, because you don't have a running sewage running system. You don't have it. So you would have a crisis if they were indeed 12,000. So they can't be 12,000.
Well, you were one of the people that were in charge of that election at the time.
No, I didn't. It could have been done a bit smarter than that. Now, so you have the only change now is that the other voter, whether he's a soldier or not, is mixed with the other voters.
Yes,
you do no longer have voting
the current condition
within the barracks.
You wouldn't vote within the barracks. You would have your polling center outside the barracks.
Yes. So that's what complicates it. And even if that was not the case, it's peri-urban. These other problems of the Wananchi, you remember there was a demonstration of police women here in Kampala,
in Naguru,
demonstrating against
Umeme, water.
So they have those, they are feeding the pinch. So it's likely to, so therefore I wouldn't be surprised that her rallies performed well around that.
I don't think that the soldiers walked out of the barracks to Nabukenya's rallies, I suppose. They could have been in the barracks.
If you have been following women who vend mangoes, are you seeing it in town?
Yes.
Women vending mangoes, women vending in yellow bananas, Bogoya. Most of them are wives of policemen or wives of private guards. Because around this area of Naguru, you have not less than 30,000 private guards. So they have their families, and they can't survive on their salaries. 100,000, 150,000 shillings to cater for rent, to cater for food. So their wives do that. And now it can go either way. Because they are impoverished, if you are able to deploy money and it impacts on them positively, then you would have a huge vote. So that vote can swing either way. Because with them, money has an impact. One, they are well organized, they are structured. So if NRM was to use the money there, they can have an impact or they can contest ground. Then you have the Nubian community, and I think the president has good relations with the Nubian community. And besides, it's well organized. Then you have cattle keepers, because that's the cattle keeping corridor. Yeah, you have cattle keepers, and the president does well with that group, because you remember this is not a this is a larger constituency.
It is a district.
Yeah, it's a district, and some of the constituencies I think are predominantly NRM. The other MPs are predominant. I don't think DP would be doing well. So I think the reason why she has been performing well is that she has been charismatic and taking advantage of. So it's the NRM can recover. That's the point I'm trying to make. But apparently they are on the defense. They are on the defense, and that explains the.
And the campaigns have closed. The open campaigns. So tomorrow is Kakuyege. Talk to the people.
That's when NRM wins. Then that's NRM win. But you need a good infrastructure that will
not the grumbling one where the money is alleged to be in Kampala.
Yeah, you need that, and then you also need the other machinery that worked in the case of this Byanyima. You remember? Yes. So now we have to take a decision that we take this ground. If they decide to take that decision, take the ground.
But that machinery still lost the election in Mbarara municipality.
I'm talking about Byanyima, the recent Byanyima.
Yeah.
Yes, they took the decision and it was done. It was done.
That's a dirty election.
Which one has been clean?
So Chaz, you're saying that effectively the only way they can pull it off is if they throw off the gloves and go bare knuckles. If
they decide to reinvigorate their networks, the NRM networks, because I have faced the NRM networks as a system. They are well organized because they reach the village. The committees are functional.
What is the age factor here, Charles? Because you're talking 28 years later after NRM vacated Luweero. And for a fellow that was born in 1986, he's 28 today. He possibly doesn't have as much attachment to that struggle, to that NRM network, as you have these boys of boda, chapatis, all that live within the urban centers, and their numbers are swelling. They're 18 years, therefore they were born way into the NRM regime. They think their fathers and mothers should have benefited from the struggle, and therefore they should have been better off. If they see a car like yours, you pass by with a Range Rover, they would complain and say, that is our money. How much are they a factor?
No, in the trading center, because the real voter of NRM, that is the other old woman, the other old gentleman, are farmers, and they are permanently in the gardens. Those are the real voters of NRM. Then you have these youths who are mobile on the trading centers, who are in Kampala. Probably some have even now traveled to Mbarara, who may even not be there. But these are the ones who raise dust during these rallies on the trading centers. And they are always receptive. Because in areas where NRM has beaten FDC, like in Western Uganda, including, by the way, even Rukunjiri, that has been a factor. This woman does not receive any other message. She knows about President Museveni, and it's like a religion. So those are there. And the numbers are not few. There are many. The numbers are high, they are big. So you have to take that into consideration. Then you have to take into consideration.
Have you looked at the demographics? Because just quickly
that is deceptive. It operates in
because quickly looking at demographics, you're talking of an area that has very many town councils. You are talking of an area that has very many roadside towns.
Yes, that's why it's close. Because we are talking about
a very peri-urban area.
And we are talking about a difference of 30 votes. That's close because the opposition has that advantage. So if there are no two serious characters, and then you have a charismatic candidate, because the way I'm seeing the performance of the two ladies, the other one is not terribly weak, like in areas where NRM has lost. So if they came up as a machine and reinvigorated their cells, their committees at the village level, and they were able to move as a gratia, as a mass, they could easily overwhelm.
Charles, let's interrogate that if. What would they do between now and then?
Kakuyege, Kakuyege needs cash. That has been the mode. Because
but Charles, isn't that forked tongue? Because you're the one that says they're hard on cash, that you have a cash problem because. Would you find that money?
The money is
because
there.
Even the ones that has gone is alleged not to have reached. It doesn't trickle down to the grass.
Yeah, you send a lot, like the grasshoppers of Kamwocha. You send a lot, they steal, but part will some will reach. Yes,
Would you call the election?
Come again?
Would you call the election? Would you call a winner on the election?
Because of that?
No, I'm asking. Would you call the winner on the election on Thursday if you were asked to predict today?
Yes. It's a bit difficult now because the information that has been coming from the ground mainly is you get from social media and the space is occupied by the opposition.
No, but I've been looking at TV, I've been listening to radio, I've been talking to people on the ground. Today I did a lap very close to Luero round. I met some people and...
Yeah, but if you notice that the opposition has occupied ground, has dominated ground in media. In the media, yes, the NRM is not performing well.
Is that reflective of what is on the ground, or do you think it's purely a media hype?
Yeah, because you see, if you have a president who is coming and you have a different department of security over screening, you know now the mode of screening has changed. Some may not come, so it's extremely very difficult to see it from the point of, yes, it's a factor. It's a factor. Now, if money is not enough and you are not going to ferry people from the villages.
But why money? If these people are passionate about this.
But I've told you that the other religion, the other sacerdotes, the other priests of NRM are no longer there. The pillars you have now are pillars who are rooters. So the only language that they can use is money. You do no longer have, because even you see those who use it to convince people are lamenting. We have characters in NRM who can build that.
Because I saw you're talking about people like Naduli, because I find the message that Naduli gave at a rally rather shooting themselves. It's a boomerang. How do you at a rally where you are asking for votes say, Mr. President, we don't have a hospital, Mr. President, we don't have a district.
They don't have a Kutesa type there. They don't have a gym where.
But you have a minister of works, Bwana.
Who?
Abraham Biandala. He has the second largest budget in this country.
In Ruero?
Yes.
But I mean, does he have power there? The power is with
I don't
UNRWA.
know.
The power is with UNRWA.
He appoints UNRWA.
Yeah, but you see, even attempted to resolve the board and was told the Beveko.
Well, viewers, I can assure you on Thursday I'll do my leg into Luero. I'll go around Luero by 7 o'clock, possibly I'll be in Luero. And by the time we come here on Friday...
So I would use your word that the direction is too close to go.
By the time we come on Friday in the face-off, we will have had the results. And I'll give you a first-hand feel of what was on the ground. Till then, good night.
God is great.